Hello, Cambridge class. This is your reading activity for the week. I've got three news articles, two, strangely, about robot animals. Let's look at the first one. I saw this one and thought of you because it's about a slothbot keeping an eye on the animals. So, here we go. Slothbot built to keep an eye on animals. What are sloths? Sloths are furry mammals that live in the rainforests of Central and South America. Sloths spend 15 to 20 hours a day sleeping and typically only manage to travel around 35 metres a day. Oh, I think I can make that a little bit bigger, G. Will it just fit on? Yes, it will. When you think of a robot, you might envisage. Now, before I carry on, I think I'm going to look at the glossary down here because that envisage is in this glossary down here. Envisage, create a picture in your mind. Efficient, something that uses little energy to provide its needs. Programmed, a set of instructions that a computer follows in order to perform a task. Whimsical, playfully silly, especially in an appealing and amusing way. Okay, let's pop back up. When you think of a robot, you might envisage a small beeping droid, maybe a human-shaped machine that cleans up or helps fight crime. I'd guess that you didn't think of a sloth. However, that's what the robotics engineers at the Georgia Institute of Technology, USA, have designed and made. They were inspired by these slow, tree-dwelling animals, and they built a robot to observe plants and animals. Slothbot embraces slowness, said Professor Magnus Erksted. It is designed to be slow and hyper-energy efficient. Professor Erksted took inspiration from the robot from a sloth that he saw on a visit to Costa Rica, a country in Central America. The funny-looking shell protects the solar-powered equipment inside. It can track temperature, weather, and carbon dioxide levels. The robot is programmed to avoid moving if possible, but it will search out sunlight when its batteries need recharging. The engineers know that it's whimsical and charming to look at, but they hope it will do a better job than a land-based robot. These might scare away or damage the species they are trying to watch, or get stuck in the bushes of roots and rocks. The Slothbot is about a metre long and currently hangs from a 30-metre long wire in the Atlanta Botanical Gardens, USA. Emily Coffey, who works at the Atlanta Botanical Gardens, said, "It's one of a kind, a way to engage the public and bring forward a new way to tell our story." The team chose to put Slothbot there because they want to test their machine before sending it to South America to observe plants and animals. However, they also hung it there to show off their idea to adults and children who visit the gardens. Professor Magnus Erksted hopes that the Slothbot will get an entirely new generation interested in what robotics can do to make the world better. Okay, so that's your text. And here is your first set of questions. Now you can scroll the video back and have a look at the text, but pause the video and try these. Okay, and here's the next set of questions. Again, you can scroll the video back to read the text and try and answer these questions. Okay, so our next text is about Liverpool winning the Premier League. It says, Liverpool are the Premier League champions 2020. Who are Liverpool FC? Liverpool FC are one of the most famous football clubs in the world. They have won the 2020 Premier League and their manager is Jurgen Klopp. Liverpool have won the Premier League. The title was confirmed when Manchester City, the team in second position, lost to Chelsea on Thursday. Now I can see a blue word there, so I think the next job is to just have a quick look at this glossary. Confirmed, when something is made certain. Season, a period of time when a sport is played. Postponed, when something is put off until a later date. Rescheduled, organised to happen on a different date. Okay, let's have a look at the text. It's the first time in 30 years that they have won the top division in English football. This season, Liverpool have been in sparkling form. They are currently 23 points ahead of Manchester City. The team has won a lot of trophies recently. Last June, Liverpool won the Champions League, European men's football's most prestigious trophy. They have also won the UEFA Super Cup and the Club World Cup. Liverpool fans, though, will have to wait to celebrate winning the Premier League with the players. The news comes as sports fans reflect on an unusual year so far. The football matches stopped because of the coronavirus lockdown. In March, the Premier League said the matches would stop. The matches then started on the 17th of June. Inside stadiums, though, things are quite different. For example, there are no fans inside the football stadium. Instead, supporters have to cheer on their own teams from home. The coronavirus lockdown has affected a number of sporting events. Organisers cancelled Wimbledon, a famous yearly tennis tournament in London this year. The Olympic Games are postponed until next year. This is one of the biggest sporting tournaments in the world. Countries from around come to compete against each other. It was going to take place in Tokyo in August, but it will now happen in 2021. Other events have been rescheduled until later in the year. The Tour de France is a cycling competition that normally happens in June and July. This year, though, organisers will try to hold it between the 29th of August and the 20th of September, if it's safe to do so. It's been a strange year for sports fans, but for Liverpool supporters, it will be a year they won't forget. Okay, so that's your text. Remember, you can always come back to the text. Here's the first set of questions. That's not right at all, is it? That's the sloth questions. Let's find the Liverpool questions. Here's the first set of Liverpool questions. And here's the second set. Okay, and now our last text for this week is about another robot. And it says, robot elephant made from gelatin. So let's find out what gelatin is. Gelatin is a common ingredient in many chewy sweets, as well as some beauty products and shampoos. It's a useful material for a robot because it's so flexible. You wait for an animal-inspired robot story for ages, and then two come along at once. Last week it was the Slothbot, and now it's the edible robo-elephants. Now, see the word edible is in pink there, so let's have a look at our glossary. Edible, something that can be eaten. Exposed, introduced to or allowed to come into contact with. Biodegrade, naturally broken down or decomposed by bacteria. Potentially, possibly capable of doing something in the future. Okay, let's read from the top. Scientists in Austria have created a robot in the shape of an elephant's head, which contains edible parts. Although you wouldn't want to eat the electronics or bits made from wood, parts of the robot are constructed from gelatin. Gelatin is an ingredient found in many chewy sweets, but the robot, named Percy the Jellyphant, isn't designed to be a snack for humans. He was designed by robotics engineers to show off the uses of technology and then to be a snack for bacteria. The trunk can curve and bend like a real elephant's trunk, more than 330,000 times before cracking. However, when the biogel is exposed to bacteria in wastewater, it begins to biodegrade. As well as being potentially better for the environment, the engineers suggest that the biogel could serve other uses too. The sensors on the end of the trunk allow it to pick up different objects. The softness of the biogel might lead to technology being used to pick up fruits or other delicate objects. They also suggest that they could help in caring for animals. The edible robot, which looks like prey or food, could be used to get medicines into animals when eaten. If a young child's toy were constructed of biogel, it also wouldn't matter as much if they nibbled on bits of it, although that might not make it such a good idea at the moment, as the sensors and electronics are definitely not edible. So Percy, the Jellyphant, might be a step towards more environmentally friendly robotics, if not food. Okay, so here's your first set of questions. Remember, you can always scroll back and read the text again. And here's your second set of questions. Okay, now that's the last reading activity for me this year. You'll have one from Mrs. Callahan next week, and I look forward to seeing you in September.